going to miss about Japan is modesty. And in this video, I'm not necessarily talking about the modesty, in the way of achievements. So if you tell a Japanese person, oh, your English is really good, they might say, no, it's no good, it's not good. Even if they're speaking really, really good English, they'll, no, it's not good. And I actually pick up on a lot of that living in Japan. So whenever I was told, oh, your Japanese is really good, no, my Japanese isn't good. Or when I made my speech, a lot of my colleagues came to me, that was a beautiful speech. No, it wasn't a beautiful speech. It was so-so, But I'm not talking about that necessarily here. What I'm talking about is modesty in clothing, especially for women. I don't know so much for men. I guess it's not common for men to wear, short pants. They wear the capri pants, but not the short pants. So I guess that may be a modesty thing. I don't know. But for women, it's very pronounced, I think. Not on the bottoms necessarily, because the high school girls wear the really short skirts, and they're technically not really short skirts, but what my high school students do is they take the waistband of their skirts and they roll their skirt up to make it shorter. So that maybe, I guess, not on the bottoms, but on the tops for women. So wearing a tank top, wearing a sleeveless shirt like this, is not very common in Japan. In Tokyo, it's a little less uncommon. I'm talking in double negatives and confusing myself. In Tokyo, it's more common to see a woman wear something like this. So I actually bought this in Japan, and I wore it once while I was in Japan. It's a newer outfit. I think I bought it maybe on one of my last days in Japan. I bought it. And I wore it once in Japan, and it was in Tokyo that I wore it, and I didn't wear a cardigan over it, and I felt, I didn't feel out of place. But if I were to wear it where I lived in Kanagawa, if I were to wear it in Fujisawa, then I would kind of be a little more, I don't know, self-conscious, self-aware that my shoulders were showing. Wherever I am, I tend to like to follow social norms, especially when it's stuff like this that can make other people feel uncomfortable. I like to follow social norms. So I would wear cardigans and stuff over this. And that's not so much of a problem because I am kind of modest to begin with. I've never really liked to wear tube tops or anything like that. I own tube tops, but I usually wear a shirt over the top of it. But stuff like this, I wear this stuff like this all the time in America. But in Japan, I would put a cardigan over it. So it's not necessarily the modesty part that bothers me. What bothers me is that in the summer you think, if it's hot, you wear something like this so that you don't have so much clothes covering all your skin and making you hotter. But in Japan, even if it's summer and you wear this, you wear something over the top of it. So not only do you cover up your arms, but you add another layer of clothes to your back. So it makes it hotter. So it's not forced modesty, it's expected modesty. So this expected modesty ends up making you sweat buckets while you are trying to stay cool. But that is something I will probably not be missing about Japan, the idea of expected modesty in clothing for women.